Hey everybody and welcome to Adventures with Peps. This week we are painting the Plasmancer. The Plasmancer is the Harbinger of Destruction, armed with a plasmic lance, energy conduits, cryptic flight, hopefully I'm saying that right, and the ability to control living lightning. He is a part of the Royal Court that came with issue... I've got it in front of me, hang on. Came with issue 51 of the Imperium magazine. I am trying to get these different characters all painted up before we do an actual magazine review. We'll probably leave the Sculptech Lord for the final one. But let's get into the painting. Like all good Adventures with Peps paint guides, we started off with a nice black primer. Now, you've probably seen me paint a lot of Necrons by now. You know the deal. So let's just get on with it. Gonna kick things off with the lead belcher and my poor old battered base brush that I use for dry brushing and terrain painting. I'm taking it straight out of the pot. I am a monster. And this is how I do dry brushing. Tilt the brush and just sweep down. I'm not too worried. I'm going to be covering this model in multiple layers. Lots of contrast paints. It's probably not even a dry brush, to be honest. I am covering it. If I miss areas because of shadow, it just adds depth to the model. I'm not worried. Very nice, very quick stage. I want to make sure any of the big flat plates that I've got going on get a good hit. Got to get some good coverage. It's a very interesting model. I am a bit concerned about photographing it. I'm not sure how well it's going to photograph. By the time you watch this video, there's probably a picture of it at the beginning. And hopefully I'm able to take a decent enough picture. Right, I think I've got all the little pieces. This thing is barely holding on to the base. Like, I am not a gentle painter. I put my hands up to that. I can be a little rough. But this thing is barely holding on. I think it's held together by the staff and a very small fake metal bar that it's meant to be floating over. But there you go. Lead belcher is down. Stage 1 complete. Stage 2 is the canoptic alloy. Now, I'm not entirely sure the colour of this. It kind of has a warmth to it, like a yellowy gold, I want to say. But it's very bright. Look how bright this is going on. It's probably too bright. It's very much in keeping with the Imperium magazine's Necrons. They use this as the main armour plates, whereas I use lead belcher. I knew I wanted the cloak to stand out a little bit on the Plasmancer. He's a fun model. So I thought a little bit of brightness will go down really nicely. So I'm going to work my way around the model, and you can join me in a minute. So with the lead belcher and canoptic alloy drying, I grabbed the pallid witch flesh, which is now my go-to pale colour. And any area I believe is going to be any area that I believe is going to be green, I'm putting this on as the base coat. This is going to help brighten up those areas when I come to use the wash on it. I think I am sticking to my orc flesh green that I've been using on the other models. I've yet to find a better green, so we're going to stay consistent and do that. But yeah, I'm picking out all the energy coils, the eyeball, the weird power rack that's on his back. Anything that I want to have a nice bright green wash over. These back racks are fiddly. I get it. They're cool and everything. They remind me very much of the homunculi of the Dark Eldar. They have these weird vials in their henchmen. But on the Necrons, they seem really fiddly to paint. But I'll slowly work my way around, trying to concentrate as I go. Make sure I fill in all the details. I'm not being too precious, you know me. I want models that look fine from 3 foot away. These aren't going to win awards. I just want to get paint on my models. I want to be able to play with them. That's what this channel's all about. And whilst we're talking about the channel, make sure you hit like, subscribe and all that good stuff. I truly do appreciate each and every one of you. Also, if you're hearing me talking, thank you for listening. I know I have a unique voice. Drop me a comment. Ask me questions. Tell me what you're working on. I want to hear. I want to know what you're getting up to. So drop me a comment. Now we're on to my favourite stage where I can just start slapping paint down. We got the contrast paints out finally. Starting off with the orc flesh. We're going to pick out his eyes straight away, because that's a nice easy win. Very simple, very easy. Then we're going to catch the coils and slowly work our way around. Now, stupidly, I didn't let the witch flesh dry enough. So when we're doing the coils on the back, you'll notice that the green actually blends with the pallid white. And I have to go back later with another round of the contrast paint over the green. Let's see, it's just here. The paintbrush has picked up the pallid. It's my bad. I should have let it dry longer. And then I'm like blobbing it down now. But we'll come back to it later and give the pipes that went wrong a second coat. And it all works out in the end. But super quick step, and we'll move on to the next one. And it's going to be another very quick step. I nearly put green where I shouldn't have put green. I grabbed the Griff Hound Orange contrast paint. A beautiful orange colour. And quite simply, 1 dab, 2 dabs, 3 dabs, 4 dabs, 5 dabs. Dab, 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 dab. Into his engine ports. I did think about using green, as you probably saw me hesitate earlier. But I felt he also needed a little pop of colour. At this moment, he's looking a bit dark. I know the red is going to change that up, but I feel a little bit of orange in those exhaust vents will be just the right thing for it. So we then grab the Cryptek Gloss Armor shade, I think it's called. I forgot to have it in front of me when I was recording. Yeah, I'm just covering the alloy. It was too bright for me. Though interesting, and I'm sure I could find a nice use for that paint, it's a very bright metallic. It's too bright for me. So I'm using this shade just to darken it down, and it adds a real warmth to the colour. Like I mentioned earlier, it has kind of a yellow gold tint to it. And this brown wash, which is all it is, it's a brown wash, just adds some real depth and warmth to the paint that it was lacking. And this actually is really nice to see in person. It just works very nicely with this. I guess they were probably built for each other. But it gives you this kind of antiqued metal effect, which I think the Necrons would have. They've been slumbering for a long time. So to have that is a very nice effect. I then grabbed the Judge Dredd yellow contrast paint, and I'm going to use it on his, I forgot what it's called now, his plasma rod. I do this quite a lot. You've seen it on my executioners. I just like the effect it gives me. I think it would look cool on this model, so I ran with it. I pretty much cover the entire head of the weapon with this colour to begin with, but later on you'll notice I didn't like it, so when I go back to fix the green wash, I actually changed the head of the axe a little bit. The weird, almost gem-shaped device that I'm painting near right now, you'll see me put paint on it in a second. I paint that green. Ultimately helps break up the weapon and gave it a much nicer look in the end. But hey, you live and learn. A lot of these schemes, I just have a pile of paints that I think would look good on the model, and then as I'm going along, I just decide what I'm doing. Sometimes it works, sometimes I have to fix it, but it's a very organic way of painting. I don't sit down and master plan everything out. It's very much in the moment. Here's the pot of color I got. Where am I going to put it? With that stage complete, there's only really one color left to go. That is the flesh tier red. Once this color's down and the base is finished, he's tabletop ready. I will go an extra layer when the camera is off, but I'm not interested in showing that to you. It's a little bit cruel of me, I guess. I gotta keep some secrets, but these videos are just meant to be quick and dirty. Show you what you can achieve in very little time. This has probably been 20 minutes from start to finish, and then with the extra layer I put on later, it's maybe a 30-minute model when I'm all done. I just gotta very carefully go around the model, making sure it doesn't bleed into anything. These shoulder pads are the biggest area of red. I'm doing those, and then I'm gonna do his face mask in the red. Just want to make sure I'm being neat at this stage. There's some wet paint still. The brown shade still hasn't dried. It's been a good 5-10 minutes and it's still wet in the recesses. That is a slow drying shade. The green is a little patchy still, so I'm trying my best not to touch the model, and also not set myself up for a paint run to happen. Very fiddly. This brush feels massive when I'm trying to paint around these vials, but hopefully I'll get a good effect at the end of it all. And with a very quick dry brushing of some grey paint, we're done. Start to finish, I think this is around the 22 minute mark. It's tabletop ready. It's not the prettiest, don't get me wrong. It definitely needs that extra layer that I'm going to do to it, and you'll see in the photos. But yeah, it's mostly edge highlighting that I do, just to take it up a level. But he's ready to play, he's ready to go. Slap some varnish on it, no one's going to care. We worry too much about trying to achieve perfection with our painting. We forget that you just need to get paint on your models and get painting and playing games. So there you go. Hope you enjoy this model. Hope if you didn't learn something, you at least enjoyed listening to me. And I hope you hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you next week with another 40k model. Cheers for watching.